Okay, so well, to keep a long story short, I'm German, living in Spain since 1995. I came here with my parents. I had no choice at that time. So they made me come over. They came here to work, and I went to school here. So I grew up in this area. And well, in the meantime, I feel mostly almost more Spanish than maybe German or whatsoever.
And you're okay, so tell me a little bit how you got into real estate and a little bit about Starck Estates.
I was working many years for a tax advisor. And there came that time when I was imagining myself, okay, am I seeing myself in this office closed in the next 10 years? And I got kind of, well, I think that's not for me. So I changed things completely and decided to go for the real estate business in 2011. Started with a company here in the area, tried it 6 years. And then I thought, well, I could actually do this myself and started in 2016 with Starck Estates.
And Starck Estates because your surname is Starck, correct?
Yes, exactly. So yes, the own company.
And your company is it you working on your own, or do you have anybody working with you?
Well, we're like three in the team. So it's like very familiar. We do the videos, we do virtual tours for our properties, and we're two in the sales team, and we actually list, and we're a little bit of multitasking. We do all our sales.
And whereabouts is your office?
We're in Benidorm. This is in the Dania region. When I say to people Benidorm, that I Benny what?
It's
So
hard to say, isn't it? That was the name.
it's a very small village near to Dania. But well, once you know it, you'll find it again.
So what area do you cover in Starck Estates?
We're actually working from Oliva up to Moraida area, depending really on the type of property. And at the moment, we're expanding also a little bit to Costa Blanca South, just about to open another office in that region, because we see that the market, well, goes in both directions. So we can actually cover up a little bit of everything.
And and so what services do you offer out? Obviously sales, you're a listing agent, new developments as well, or is there not much up in the north?
Now also new
Yeah.
development. A little bit of everything. We try to pamper our clients really. So when they come to us, we take them by the hand. We help them in the whole process of applying for their NIE number. If they want a bank account, we help them to change all the contracts of electric, water. So to make things as easy as possible for them, at least for the first step in Spain.
How do you do rentals, or is that not at all?
Holiday rentals. We look
Holiday
after
rentals.
holiday rentals, and it's a kind of service that we only offer when the people purchase that certain property with us, so that it keeps everything in one hand. Mhm.
Okay. And have recent changes to rules and regulations has made it a little bit more complicated, no? I think for holiday rentals, generally speaking.
Everything. I think generally when you talk about things, it's a little bit for everything. I mean, the holiday rentals, the government is trying to limit it a little bit more. But of course, if someone comes and wants to make a capital investment on a holiday property, we check out everything that that property can get the rental license.
Right. Right. Okay. So what sort of nationalities do you sell to typically?
It's a international potpourri, to be honest. So we have a little bit of everything. We have many Germans because I'm German. So I would say that 75% of our clients are German language, which is Swiss, German, Austrian. Then we have Dutch people who speak also German or English very well. We have Belgium. We have the Brits who still exist even after Brexit, and of course, yeah, it's Americans, French. It's a big mixture. Sometimes we even have Chinese.
And I mean, you've had the agency for a little while now. So have you seen any changes in the trends of who's buying in terms of nationalities? Is it more of one and less than the other?
Yes, I mean, we have seen an evolution, especially after the COVID. It was like someone opened the big gate and everyone just wanted to purchase. Then we had a real big storm of Germans coming. Every German wanted to buy. At the moment, the political situation in Germany is changing again, and having a very positive effect in Germany. So we have another wave of Germans who actually want to relocate and start their lives here in Spain. But I have to say that this year, the Dutch and the Belgian market is being also very strong.
And you mentioned some Americans are starting to show their faces, no? That's quite a
Yeah,
new market, isn't it?
that's a nice market. Yes. Mhm.
And in the area that you cover, what are the more, tell me a little bit about what areas are more popular and who buys where.
I have to say, years ago, the typical foreign buyer was an elderly person upon retirement or just about to retire, and they all wanted to be either near to the coast or have a sea view. I think since COVID, these things have changed, and many people are like, they want to go back to the roots. They want to be connected with nature, have their land around. So you cannot really say they want to go in that direction or the other. We really have a very wide, yeah, spreadsheet of people with different searching criterias, and we just try, we listen to what they look for, and then we try to find the best match.
And how would you say the market is at the moment, generally, compared to the last recent years?
The last 2 years have been like adrenaline and running and rushing from morning till evening. So very nice for us. Generally, estate agents, we cannot say anything contrarious. At the moment, Christmas time, it was quiet, which is typical for that time of the year. So the really the best time of the year for us is the Easter time, which is a strong sales season, and we're just heading towards that. So we're quite busy at the moment, which is nice.
How do you feel about 2024? Do you think it's going to be similar to 2023?
I think it's going to be maybe a little bit quieter, but very similar. Because when I see the number of inquiries, people planning to come over, and especially as mentioned before, at the moment, the buyers we're seeing, they're actually really young people. Sometimes they're younger than I am. And they're coming over with their families, and they're just fed up with their own country, the political situation. So they're in the process of selling there to actually come and raise their children and families here in this area.
Okay. And is there anything happening at the moment in the market that you find particularly exciting?
At the moment, for example, we're out with American clients, and that is something I really enjoy because, yeah, different type of client, not the typical European or maybe English market. So it's a different client with, yeah, exciting and interesting stories about their part in the US and California where they just sold, and yeah, just happy to.
And why do you, in your opinion, why are Americans suddenly interested in Spain? Because Spain's always been sunny and it's always had a good standard of living. So why now? Do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, well, I asked them actually because it was quite interesting. Why are you coming over from such a pretty place to this part and this region of Spain? And they were saying that in California, they're having many problems with homeless, that is actually getting really, really strong. So you see them everywhere with their luggage on the streets. It's having effects on the properties. They have many squatters as well in the area, and the government is not really doing anything against it. So once they're in, it's very difficult to get them out. And I think people who have the financial background and can afford it just say, okay, you know what? We're fed up. We're going to sell. We're going to go somewhere maybe more civilized and where we don't have those issues. Mm.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I've heard that down in the Costa del Sol, similar story. The so what challenges, and go on the flip side, what would you say are the biggest challenges at the moment in the market for you guys?
Well, I don't know. I don't see things as challenges. I see it as opportunities. So,
Okay.
yes, I like to always put it on the positive way in effect. I don't think, to be honest, I think we have many opportunities. We have great people around. We have great clients with a good, let's say, quality of client so that we can actually help them to find their home. And that's, I think, if you want to put it as a challenge, that's the biggest challenge. Get the wish list and try to fulfill that.
How about stock levels? Because in some places that has, because of the 2 years following the pandemic, there was such a rush of people, all that pent up demand being satisfied, that has left in many areas quite low levels of inventory. Is that been a similar case there?
Also, here we have the same experience. The nice thing I have to say, I mean, working and living here now almost 30 years, we have so many good contacts. And what we try to do in that moment is collaborate. So we have great agents, colleagues with who we really enjoy working. So even if the client says, well, you don't have anything on your portfolio that matches our criteria, we search for it. We talk with the colleagues. What do you have? How can you help? And we try to make a sale then in a combined collaboration.
And up in Costa Blanca North, do agents collaborate through just one-to-one conversation, like arrangements, or is there a platform that you use to sort of share listings and things like that?
I know that there are some agents on platforms. I am not on the platform, to be honest. I just have my people where I write my email. Do you work with this person? Can we work together? Or, well, we use the old technique, which is the phone.
Okay, okay, old school. That's good. That's good. With the advent of remote working and Zoom calls, video calls such as this one, how's business been in that sense? Has it changed a little bit?
I have to say, I think we were actually one of the first agents when we had that COVID and that lockdown who actually sold houses. First time in my life in pajama with a cup of coffee in my hands, because I sent one of my clients who was an elderly lady. I explained to her how it works to do a WhatsApp video. And she actually went through the house and did that video for me, and we sold that property. Then, of course, once we could go out again, it has been kind of something that started on the market. Do video calls with clients, show them the properties so that they can actually record it, have a look at the property afterwards. And funny enough, we have sold quite a few properties over video calls, and people have been so confident even to give us a power of attorney. I was shaking and shivering, thinking, oh my God, they're buying a villa for 500,000. They haven't even seen it. I'm going to sign for them today. But when they came, she was actually crying, falling in my arms. So I know we did the right thing.
The regulations that have come into place. Final question for you. So the regulations that have come into place in the Valencia region, agents from all over Spain are very curious about it. It's
Yeah.
only early days, isn't it? It's very only recently kind of been implemented. Is there any initial indications from you, how you see it? Good thing, bad thing, effective, not effective? Any feedback?
I think generally it's good because years ago, here anyone could set up as an estate agent and start working. So it's actually quite positive that everything has come a little bit under a certain regulation, that this is kind of a bit more control, so that people actually know that we all work under the API law and that we have to keep our ethics and our service way, or just work all in a similar way, and that people know that where they get, they're in good hands. I think that is something important, and that was missing out before.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, Nadine. It's been wonderful speaking to you.
Thank
And
you.